All right, we are live on YouTube at this point, just so you all know.
Woo!
No, no inappropriate screenshots. Our restrooms are down this hallway here. 6134 is the code. Nobody really cares. Chef Bridget is on the breakfast this morning, so if you hate it, tell her. If you love it, tell her. Uh-oh, Annie's here.
Yay!
The chess match has started.
Nico, are we on?
Bex is back from Turkey, back in the producer chair.
Woo!
It's fun to be back.
You lying.
No, it's always about travel. You know, you love traveling, and then you get home and you're like, oh, my own bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turkey. Yep. I ran into Bridget there. We overlapped tonight.
Can't escape her.
And my wife's going to be there tomorrow.
She is.
Or
I gave her some tips for the Turkish
Good.
bath.
You get lucky in a Turkish bath?
Oh, amazing.
Did you get lucky in a
No,
Turkish
gross, no. No.
So why would you go?
Because it's amazing. It's the weirdest thing. I'll tell you later. It's,
Okay.
But I did say, you just got to be okay with X. And my husband said, that's the closest. But all three guys went, and, you know, it's just, it was funny. It was a very fun experience. We're all much closer now.
Good.
Didn't need to be. Yeah.
We're going to get started on the show. You're welcome to chat amongst yourselves during the show, just not too loud. And make yourself comfy. Not sure what we have for taste today.
Little Turkish delight.
Oh, that's right. We have some Turkish delight. And Bridget is making some brown butter madeleines right now. It's going to come out. So. Ready, Nico? All right, let's get started here. Welcome to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. Thank you all for coming. That was a lame beginning there. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Our audience motivator
Who was lame?
was busy.
Well, yes, she was.
Welcome to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio.
Nice.
Wow, very excited audience this morning. Taylor, I can't hear you flipping your fingers over there. Taylor's here on social media. Nico's on the board. Bex is back from Turkey.
Yes.
With some exciting news. We're all going to taste Turkish delight.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, ooh, what's my news?
I was like, wow,
I'm
okay.
excited to hear about
That's the velvet undertones of Chef Eric Tanaka.
I'm
He
here.
is our partner and also sitting in today in the guest host seat.
Mm-hmm.
Taking it.
25 years in, I made it.
There you go. I'm Tom Douglas, and we are here for 2 hours, so try and hang with us the whole time. You know, we're busy closing up our garden. We just got everything in before that. We got a big frost yesterday, so knocked everything that was still alive down to the ground over in Prosser. So Jackie's making her final trip over with a dozen or 20 totes of different kinds of produce, the last of the tomatoes,
Wow.
all those kinds of things. Really good tomato crop this year. Did you have luck on the west side of the mountains?
My little pathetic container gardener just gave me some green tomatoes. So I went to friends' houses, and I helped them
I had
harvest.
3
You had
ripe
3?
tomatoes.
You had 3
They were
ripe-
good, but 3.
3 all summer?
Yeah.
Holy
I only
smokes.
had 1 plant. I only do 1 of anything now because I can never do anything with it. So
You know, we sell tomatoes here at the restaurants, T. I'm not sure if you remember that or not.
forgot.
We're coming to you from the Hotel Andra in downtown Seattle, 4th and Virginia, which is full with Toronto Blue Jay fans
I
tonight.
bet.
Yeah, so those little chumps took us down last night.
Hard.
We tape here at the Hot Stove on Thursday mornings from 9 to 11. If you ever want to join us like all these folks for a delicious breakfast made today by our friend Bridget Charters. You can also watch us on YouTube. Just go to Tom Douglas and Company YouTube channel and tune in on Cairo Radio, and you can watch live. Anytime, though. You don't have to see it live.
Anytime.
It'll be on there. Upcoming classes here at the Hot Stove. You know, that's what we do. That's what the Hot Stove is. I was just trying to outline a Hot Stove Society book, a cookbook.
Ooh,
And so it was funny the time to think about what we do here and what
people love.
people love when they always ask for recipes on
Yeah.
it. So it's going to be fun to think
That's a
about
great
that.
idea.
I don't know if we'll do it or not, but so upcoming classes: Brunch Club, Dutch Baby with Chef Rashida Rosley on Saturday, November the 8th. Cajun Blackened Chicken Gumbo with Sean McFadden on Saturday, November the 8th. So 2 different classes that day, and many more. If you go to hotstovesociety.com, our schedule is posted now all the way through the new year,
Yeah.
including my 2 big annual classes.
Let me think.
Which-
Thanksgiving
Turkey 101.
and something steakish.
Something, yeah, rib roast.
Rib roast.
Making the grade
Ooh.
on rib roast. No, make no mistake that there are
Mistake.
ways to cheat the grade. And by that I mean, like, if you have prime and choice, if you cook the choice maybe over charcoal and the prime just straight up in the oven, you might pick up a grade in flavor because you've added that kind of depth of flavor. So that's what that's all about.
Fun.
So we'll try, I think we're trying 5 different rib roasts that day.
Wow.
It's not a cheap class. I'll warn you right now before you go on site and look and say, oh, do the big choke. It's not a cheap class. Rib roast.
It's expensive.
Holy smokes.
Beef, period, is expensive.
We're doing a Wagyu rib roast.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. One roast is almost $1,000.
Oh, wow. How many pounds?
Typically that's
2.
typically
Not
that's
servings, ET,
12
pounds.
to 15 pounds, somewhere in
Okay.
that area.
Wow.
Yeah. Depending on, obviously the size of the steer. Seattle Restaurant Week, we're excited to partake in, is coming up October 26th to November the 8th. Our participating restaurants, get your reservations early because they do get busy during this week. Neb, our little Italian joint right around the corner from us here. Sirius Pie all over the town. Palace Kitchen, Half Shell, and a combo special at Mr. Fish, ranging from $20 to $50.
Yeah, I would get in early. We really worked on trying to build in a lot of value and excitement into these menus, so I think it's going to be fun.
Always fun. On today's show, we finally get to the meat of the matter. On today's show, Becky, you're going to take over a segment and talk turkey.
Yeah, I learned
But
a lot about Turkish
not
cuisine.
Thanksgiving turkey.
No,
Where are you back from?
Turkey, Istanbul, Turkey, and Cappadocia, and Bodrum, and all kinds of cities throughout Turkey.
Good. We heard from Bridget a couple of weeks back when she got back. Now I want to hear you.
Excellent.
Chef Lyle Kaku shares Barking Frog's fall menu at the Willows Lodge. They're celebrating 25 years. What makes a great stuffed pasta? E.T., you've lived in Italy for a year. You made pleen. You've seen lots of different raviolis. So we're going to talk the whole segment about kind of how to make the perfect ravioli. Because so often I see in class here when we make stuffed pasta, the biggest thing is getting a seal and then not having too wet a filling. So let's talk about how you achieve that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, because when you put them in boiling water,
It disrupts them.
of course you always put them in simmering water, but it does. It boils them up, and you have to be sealed. Port of Seattle Commissioner is here, part of the National Seafood Month, celebrated here every year on the Hot Stove Radio Show. Dick Stevens is with the James Beard Foundation's Taste America event is here. And we're going to talk about some, E.T., this is the time of year where you and I kind of put our heads together. There's such, I want to say, change of emotion between summer produce and fall
Yeah.
and heading into winter. And while things like ruby chard and kale are available all summer long, Brussels sprouts are grow in the summertime, we tend to, as a company, put those off and off and off until we really have to use them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to
Well,
use.
and kind of like what you were saying earlier, our growing season here is late. It's not like California where it's kind of perpetually the same all year round. Like we're still in October and you're taking down your last, orders here. So it's we do extend longer so we can go further.
Right. I want my very last green bean before I have to get into Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. I mean, we still have a watermelon salad somewhere. I was
Yeah,
like,
well,
it feels weird,
We
but
just picked our last
it's
watermelon.
delicious.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk a whole segment about that and wrap things up with food for thought, tasty trivia brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs. Speaking of cool weather, I don't think we got a frost in Seattle yet, but I think last night we got down to about 40 degrees.
Yeah, I was 40 at my house.
Yeah.
Inside.
Inside.
I had my first beef stew.
I made mine Monday.
Yeah, isn't that funny
Oh,
how
yeah.
your body kind of just tells you it's time for beef stew? So Jackie loves making that kind of thing, and I went to the store, a very fancy grocery store, to buy a bone-in chuck roast. We don't do bone-in. What's going on with that? I mean, that was Mad Cow Scare 25 years, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
What's going on with the no bone-in roast?
I think people don't want that in there. They just want the meat.
You think it's a people choice, and
I do think it's a consumer thing.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking the store, because they have bone-in rib steaks and they have bone-in Kalbi style short ribs.
Yeah.
So I was wondering. I thought maybe it was a grocery store mandate to not do bone-in chuck.
No, I don't think people know what to do with a bone-in chuck. Whereas,
Same thing you do with a non-bone-in chuck.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, I had to buy some rib bones to put in the pot to get some of that bone.
collagen, yeah.
Yeah. So that's my taste of the week. First of the season beef stew. Jackie loves to, this is stew, not pot roast.
Okay.
Jackie loves to flour the meat and brown it. She'll sit there and brown 6 pieces at a time. She might have 50 pieces to cook, and she'll brown 6 pieces at a time and turn each little cube.
She likes the diligence of the.
But she flours. Do you flour?
I got to say I'm a little bit lazy. I just throw the flour right into the pot
When?
when it's cooking down.
Okay, so after you've kind of made your stock and braised the beef. And
But I don't flour my meat and sear my meat. I just
Okay.
really throw it right in.
so no browning.
No browning.
Whoa.
It'd be
she
fun to
would-
do an experiment.
She would not.
side by side.
I know, exactly. That's right up your alley.
Well,
Totally.
I do sear the meat. I just don't sear it with flour.
Okay, I thought you said no brown.
So I'll just start the meat first, and then I'll add my aromatics, and then stop.
And so you don't mix your flour with butter so that it disperses evenly?
No, I mean, you cook it 3 hours, it disperses.
Okay.
5
Whoa.
kids, you take shortcuts.
5 kids, you take shortcuts. Let's be clear. Only 3 are still living at home.
True, but he's
Yeah.
got a lot of experience.
Yes, he does. So that's my taste of the week. We put in all the last of the carrots from the farm, the last of the parsnips from the farm. I should say the last that we're picking this year.
Yeah.
Because we like to let them winter over. They get really sweet. You pick them in January, February, and they're so sweet.
It's a treat.
Yeah, it's a treat. How about you? What's your taste of the week?
My taste of the week was my youngest daughter, Junie's birthday, and she likes Korean barbecue. So we went to Asian Family Mart, got all the meats, and then we went to Jung's Kitchen and got all the side dishes.
All the banchan stuff?
All the banchan, yeah. So that's all they do is side dishes there. So they were super delicious and fun and easy to make, or easy to eat because I didn't have to make anything. So
So do you have a Korean barbecue pan? You know,
yeah, I have
you
just
put on your
a
stove?
binchotan. I do it outside.
okay.
Just that char. Actually, the bincho wood doesn't put off that much smoke, but it has a smell to it. So I do it right outside.
And how do you fire it up? What do you put on your charcoal grill?
Yeah, I have hardwood charcoal and it's a small the Japanese style.
It's a hibachi style.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a success.
Yeah, success. I mean, and they have probably 20 different side dishes there and kimbap, so it's really easy to kind of graze and find whatever you want there. And it's a lot of it's veggie, so
And your
I have a
wife's
lot of
veggie, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of vegetarians in my house, so makes it really easy.
So does Junie, how old is she now?
9.
9. Does she get up there and do some of the cooking on the barbecue?
No. I've
come
trained
on.
Paul Toro. He's now fully versed.
He's the man in charge.
Yeah, and then Hero's working his way in.
So you have Ella, Giacomo, Paul Toro, Hero, and June.
Junie, yeah.
Junie, yeah.
5, I think.
Holy smokers. I thought mine, Hercules, Athena, and Adonis were fun names, but I like Giacomo and Hero.
Yeah, they're so far good kids.
All right. What's your favorite cut for Korean barbecue?
I actually like beef brisket.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Cut thin?
Cut thin, yeah.
Yeah.
Thin rolled right on.
And so it cooks up tender enough?
Yeah. You know, and I think you just kind of cook it under, so it's not like it's funny. Like you'll see people just throw the whole thing of meat, so it's mostly steaming.
Right.
It's a funny thing.
So you have to do a little bit of the time so you get the char.
I like more char on mine, so I
Yeah.
think I cook it more than most people do generally.
We're in the same boat on that one.
Yeah.
All right, Becky, when we come back, we're going to explore some Turkish cuisine that you've enjoyed for the last, 2 months?
2
3
weeks.
months?
2
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah, okay. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. Perfect Madeline's today, Bridget.
Oh, let me get the box.
Had a little struggle last week. Madeline's
Overcooked, undercooked.
over.
Little too brown.
Up here. There you go. Up to the right. Up to the right. Covered up, yep.
So good. Did have you done that?
I took pictures. The rest went.
Somebody had to stay
Yeah.
You know,
to pick up the debris.
so fun.
It's amazing.
The hiking around it.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
And we went to Boatrum too.
You did,
So
yeah.
the 3 places.
Yeah.
We took a cooking class in Boatrum.
What kind of food?
Turkish food.
Well, I know, but what?
What a shock. You didn't do Chinese?
I'm gonna tell you, I can still,
Woo!
still remember the food, and we did stuffed
Grape leaves?
squash blobs
Oh, so you're there in the fall.
stuffed with like a. Or something. Okay, I just remember going to the market with the teacher, and I saw all these squash blossoms. I go, why don't we not have that? I mean,
We do.
hard to hear.
In the back? In my microphone? All right, let's see if that's better. Is that better? Okay, good. I'll pop it up a little bit higher. Most people don't want to hear me. All right, we're back here at the Hot Stove Society. Lots of people gathered.
They're the best. They're
Put a
great.
gun to their head to clap. Becky, you're just back. Loretta sat in your chair for a couple weeks.
Yes.
And you're just back from Turkey and places within Turkey
Yep.
outside of Istanbul.
Yep.
But Istanbul is still crazy.
It's it's wonderful. It's beautiful. The people were nice. We learned a lot of history, food everywhere, which was fun. It's
Bridget said about 5 or 6 meals a day.
yeah, and you start with this huge Turkish breakfast.
Uh-huh.
So it's the real deal. Mm-hmm. It's fun. And what I loved about Istanbul is the spice market. Spice market was really cool.
Uh-huh.
You could get spices, and they would shrink. They would vacuum seal them for you, so you could bring them with you home.
Uh-huh.
So I brought
And
lots
that's
of different
okay to do?
That's okay to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay to do. And so let's just start off with the Turkish breakfast.
Okay.
What's unique about that, a lot of places do beautiful spreads, but they have such a variety and so much fresh stuff. So yes, they've got the pastries and the egg station, but then they've got an egg dish called meheme. Meheme. Have you ever heard of that one? I saw it
Is
everywhere.
it the one that's baked in the bread?
It's not baked in bread. It's usually in a cast iron pan.
Okay.
But it's a scrambled egg, tomatoes, peppers, and onions and cheese. I can't have eggs, but all our friends loved them. And it was kind of typical. You'd see that everywhere, and I wouldn't see
You
that.
didn't eat it.
Like
I couldn't eat
shakshuka?
it. It's no, not like a shakshuka because the eggs are scrambled.
Uh-huh.
And something about Turkish food, it's simple, but it's right there near Greece. It's a lot more spices and a lot more ingredients, and they take it's simple to do, but just more intense. Yep. So
What kind of cheese was it? Was it soft cheese, like cottage cheese, farmer's
I don't
cheese?
know, but I guess it was like a feta or something like that. And they
Those are harder.
Yep, they have local yogurts, everything that we ate was from Turkey. And they're big on their cheeses, their yogurts, their milks, honey.
We're big on coffee and tea too,
Big
right?
on the-
all day long or just in the morning?
All day long. And the coffee is, it's in a little espresso thing, and it's finely ground. They don't filter it, and it usually comes with a little hot water on the side, so you don't drink it all. Like, you don't want to get
I
all
know,
the stuff.
because there's a lot of
It's a
sludge
lot.
in the bottom.
And then there's a little theory that you take the coffee and you can read your fortune. And there's women that are really good at reading fortunes from your coffee.
I bet they are for a couple bucks here or
Something
there.
like that. Yeah. We would just make up our own, and it was funny. And then the tea culture is huge, and we saw little kids drinking tea all day long, and they're in this little glass tulip cups. And if you go shopping somewhere, or you meet someone new, or you're getting a tour, everybody brings tea. And it's just kind of they're very into hospitality.
And is it all mint tea? Because that's a lot
No,
of
it's a black tea.
It's a black
You have
tea.
to ask for herbal tea.
Huh.
And then the herbal teas just come in a regular mug. But it was pretty fun. The other thing I loved is the mezes. And that's something I want to do more at home. And that could be anything from, you've got your... They'll do like dolmas, stuffed grape leaves and olives. And then they've got... Let's see, I'm trying to think of what all the mezes were. Baba ganoush, the normal Greek stuff, but then more of it. And it all went together. And it could even be little meat skewers. So when you go to a restaurant, you look in the glass case, and they have all these different ones laid out, from tzatziki's to salads, and then you pick out what you want, and they bring them to you on these little platters. And I love, from an efficiency perspective from the restaurant, is they just grill their kebabs or whatever you've ordered, and they already have all the sides, like E.T. when you got the banchan. It's
Yeah.
already made and ready to go.
Totally.
And it just saves you hours of work, but it's something you can prepare ahead of time.
Well, you have to cook them.
Right. Well, that's true. But I mean, just having meze, more options and more, it's just a fun way to enjoy.
Yeah.
And so much of it is really healthy. Lots of fruit and vegetables. And even in the morning Turkish breakfast, there'd be a whole area of olives, some marinated, some not. And there would be a whole area of beautiful fresh vegetables. The tomatoes are red all the way through, the cucumbers. And so it was a lot more veggie culture for breakfast. And then, of course, all the beautiful pastries.
When do you start mezeing?
That was more around noon.
Was that a verb that you just used there?
For myself, yeah.
Mezzing. And at night, we went to a lovely dinner with Bridget and her team. So there were 9 of us. And same thing, we went to this really beautiful restaurant where they take you to see all the fish, and you pick out what you want. And Bridget was in charge. She did a great job. And because one of the guys told her what the fish was, she said, "Oh, no, it was something else." And she was right. So it was kind of fun. So you pick out your fish, and then you pick out the mezzes that you want. And then they bring it to you kind of family style. They always bring the shepherd salad, which is lettuce, tomatoes, and raw onions. And that's something I want to do more of. I saw raw onions on a lot of things. And I really like it. It's like,
Yeah.
Do you?
yeah.
I don't
yeah.
love it. I don't love a lot
I
of raw
do
onion.
love it. Just that pungency cuts through a lot of fat.
Is it all sweet onion? Is that what you're thinking? Is it raw onion? Is it all red onion?
I saw red and white. I don't
And
know if they
white.
were sweet or just their yellow onions or white onions, but
Yeah, E.T. knows for over the years that it's like sometimes, like our Greek salad downstairs at Lola, sometimes to me gets too raw oniony.
Too much
Somebody
for you.
just had a heavy hand that,
yeah.
they make 500 a day, and sometimes you just get a little heavy hand in that station, and I notice it right away.
I used to put it in cold water for a little bit, red onions, to take out some of the pungency, but now I'm kind of liking it.
Huh.
So
Yeah, I like it raw.
that-
Is there like a late night thing, Turkey?
I don't know.
Discos? Like,
We were, I mean,
what's the Turkish late night
we had a
scene?
couple.
Come
We had a
on,
couple.
Becky.
Okay, well, after dinner we'd go to a
You
little.
mean after 6 p.m.?
No, I'm not that late. Like 9, 10. We went out and you'd sit at these little tables outside. They're kind of like little stools, and you drink raki. And raki is very much like a ouzo or a pastis. It's got the licorice bit in it, and it's in a cold glass, and you add water if you want, or you just sip it.
It clouds out.
It clouds out. Yep. Lots of French fries late night. So yeah, I guess we did have some late night snacks, but we weren't whooping it up.
What's a typical French fry? Is it like what we consider a French fry?
Yeah, but there was one that we found that was kind of curved, so it had more surface area, and we decided that was our favorite. And they put a lot of hot spices on it, so it was good. There's another thing called gozleme. I don't know if you've ever heard of that bread.
Gozleme.
Yes, and that is all over Turkey. Each area has its own regional versions, and it's a flatbread. And typically there's an older lady making them right there at the front of the restaurant, or if you go to someone's house, the grandmother's there right by the fire, and it's a flatbread. There's no yeast in it, and then they put cheese, meat, spinach, whatever you'd like in it, and then it's kind of like a quesadilla, but it's really thin. And they have these cool, either in the oven or the fire, or this kind of domed gas burning stove that they would pop those on, and it was just fun and delicious. And they'd spread a little butter on some of them. They'd do egg, but with me they didn't, so we had a little butter on it, and it was just a lovely little treat.
Is that what they do at Mamnoon Street when they were open? Is that kind of meat spread on a thin piece of bread?
Kind of like that's a lavash version, very
Oh,
similar.
very similar.
Very similar. I think lavash is just
And they're
open-sided.
Lebanese, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Lebanese, yeah, then Levant, and then but similar, Middle East. They all have their own adaptation, and each region has their own version of things. So that was kind of fun. And before I went, someone said, "Have some gozleme and raki for me," and I'm like, "What are those?" And now it's just so obvious when you go
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And then one of the really fun things about traveling and not cooking for yourself, I was so excited to come home and cook.
What's going to be the first thing that you learned on your trip that you're going to cook at home? You're going to try and replicate.
Oh,
Maybe that bread.
Well, the bread is a great idea, but I want to really do those skewers, the kebabs, where they've got ground meat and some are spicy, some aren't. And then you put 2 metal skewers through them, you grill them that way, and then when you take them off, they kind of almost come off in bites or pieces, so easy to serve. Serve with big salads, and so I think.
So is that going
skewers.
on the salad, or is it going on a piece of pita? What does that go on?
The pita would be on the side, salad would be on the side, and that you can either build it as a sandwich if you want, or just eat it however you like with the meze, with the bread. So I'm gonna do it. I don't know if you'd call it a shawarma, but I'm gonna do skewers.
Skewers.
Yes, and they had beef and lamb, no pork because they're Muslim.
Right.
But, really delicious. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
And how do they dress that when it's on the plate? So you get the skewer, you pull the skewers out that's sitting there.
They-
do they
they
put olive oil and lemon?
Olive oil, lemon, lots of herby sauce, tzatziki always. It's like a muhammarha, but it's super spicy, and it's peppers and tomatoes, and it's delicious. So very flavorful country.
We'll be expecting our invitation.
Okay.
We didn't even get to all the candy that you brought us.
Oh yeah, these are just Turkish delight. I'm not a huge sweet person, so.
Well, they're not super sweet.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Lokum and Turkish
Probably the
delight.
halva's the sweetest of the bunch. But okay, up next, Chef Kyle. Is it Kaku? I said Kyle because I saw the Kaku. Is it Kaku? Oh, okay, good. Chef Lyle Kaku of Barking Frog at Willow's Lodge is going to join us to talk about what they're doing over there for their 25th anniversary on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
You guys are fantastic clappers. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the turn.
Oh yes.
Bringing back memories.
Dried berries?
And the key is you want to be closer than you think. Oh yeah, sorry, I took the sign down. Bridget, watch your head. We took the sign down.
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
Okay, let's do a little practice.
Okay.
You got to come really close.
Okay. Close enough?
Little close.
More?
Yeah, you almost have to eat it.
Kiss the foam here. Okay. Okay.
Nico, just move his mic up to so he doesn't have to bend over.
Oh,
if you
so
would.
cute. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's good. Is that better?
That's
Are
great.
these berries?
Okay, cool.
Those are mulberries. And I thought that they had sugar on them, but they say they don't. They say they're just dehydrated.
Yeah, just like a raisin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
very
little
sweet.
bites are really good.
You had the mulberries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Do they have mulberries in Hawaii?
No.
No.
Unfortunately.
Anything like it?
You know what's funny though? I just found out about these ground cherries. They're
Uh-huh.
called ground cherries here, but in Hawaii it's called poha berries. But it's exactly the same thing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And I was
Is
like,
that the
oh.
ones with the little paper wrap on them?
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like a tomatillo, but it's
Yeah.
brown and yellow on the inside.
Are you getting
Yeah.
those in Woodinville?
We are. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have them right out in our garden now, growing out there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that garden.
Yeah,
fun.
it changes a lot. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
All right, you ready?
Ready?
We are back here in the kitchens at the beautiful Hot Stove Society in downtown Seattle. We're located on the second floor of the Hotel Andra, all the way in the back. Come back and people always open the door like they're afraid to come in, and then they go, "Oh my
Ta-da!"
God!" Yeah, exactly. Chef Lyle Kaku is here. He's the executive chef of the Barking Frog at Willow's Lodge over there in Woodinville. And they're celebrating their 25th anniversary. You know what?
Yeah.
We were celebrating our 25th anniversary on the radio show.
Oh, that's
Couple
awesome.
weeks
then,
ago.
then somebody told me it was only our 20th.
No.
I had miscalculated. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
You were in Turkey.
Is that a miscalculation?
Well, I got confused with Terry's passing and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, here we are.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Tell us about where your background and then maybe where you're headed with Willow's Lodge.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born and raised on the Big Island of Hawaii, and growing up with a very big cooking family. I just remember being, at home and grandma's in the kitchen and the parents are outside on the grill, and it started to be ingrained in my culture. And I was lucky enough to be in high school and started taking some cooking classes, and a chef came by and be like, "Come check it out." And we wanted to see what it's all about, and it's one thing led to another, and he's like, "If you really want to make it, you need to go see the world, go travel, go gain some experiences." One day, packed up my bags, moved to Las Vegas, and I think it started from there. Lived in San Francisco for a little bit, lived in New Orleans, so I've been to some pretty cool places.
Yeah, your resume is amazing.
A lot of food meccas I got to get to go visit and see some different things. And I've actually worked with a chef that's Japanese and Moroccan, so I know a little bit
Oh,
about
wow.
all these treats that you sent out. And
Uh-huh.
but yeah, now here in lovely Woodinville, and it's beautiful out there. It's quiet, it's serene, and it's much like how I grew up in Hawaii. A big country boy, and it reminds me a lot about home, about being far out and small communities. And but yeah, I've been here about 11 months now, and I think Barking Frog's been really progressing in a great way. I think 25 years is no small feat.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And just
And
trying to get our
restaurants.
name out there. Right? Yeah, for sure. We're just pushing the team to do great food, and we have a fabulous wine selection, as everyone knows. Tyler Alden, who's a master sommelier, which there are only about 300 or so in the world. So, he's curated a nice list for us. So,
Cool.
That's quite the heritage there. I think Tom Black was the first chef out there, and then Bobby Moore.
yeah, and Bobby Moore, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you move that beyond them? Like your vision versus what they started with? Like that's, replacing a chef is a hard thing sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, right? I mean, coming in and everyone expects some things, and everyone has different backgrounds being a chef, right? I have a lot of Japanese cooking experience and background, and so I bring a little bit of that, and hopefully some little different nuances that catch people's peak of interest that comes in.
I don't think Tom or Bobby were doing that.
Yeah, so just bringing in a little different touch of something else that somebody come in, try something different.
You have such a nice big garden out there. It's for people who don't know, if you remember where the herb farm is, you have to kind of go past the herb farm in that drive there and go back around the back corner, and you come to the Barking Frog. And you are literally the house restaurant for Willow's Lodge. Is that true?
Yeah, so we have 3 restaurants there, actually. The herb farm is kind of on their own, and they do fabulous things. I mean, they're namesake here out here. And then we have the Barking Frog, which we take care of, and then we have the Fireside Restaurant. It's a little bit more of the little bar in the in the lobby area. But yeah, that farm there is a little bit more geared towards the herb farm, so they take care of that. They have their own gardener, and she tends to that every day, and it changes seasonally, and it's great right now.
Fun.
So you had to go steal it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I go back there when the lights are
E.T.
dark
and
and go there and pick a few herbs.
E.T. and I are big fans of the Big Island. I've been going for 30 years now. You've been going for
Nice.
quite a long time.
Yeah.
Give us a secret spot on the island that we don't know
Ooh.
about. Because I drive over to Hilo. My group, they like to go hang on the beach, and I don't because I get harpooned when I hang on the beach. They mistake me for other creatures. So I always take a drive around to Hilo and hang out at the market,
Yeah.
the open air market, which can be fun. It can also be trashy. But, it's just, it is what it is, right? You go over the Saddle Road or go around through Waimea, up through Waimea.
Yeah, for sure.
What's a secret spot that you go to every time you're on the Big Island?
When I go home, it's always the beach too. So
Always the
unfortunately,
beach,
but
too, yeah.
there's, wow, it's been a while since I go back. But there's little bays that pop up, and one's called Kua Bay, but it's kind of near the Kona coast. I'm from the Kona side, so I stick more towards that way. But now you go home, and it's almost like a public place. Back then, when we were growing up, it's like you need 4-wheel drive to get in there, so it's very secretive.
Just to
right?
get over the Saddle Road,
Yeah,
you needed
right,
4-wheel
right.
drive.
Now
yeah.
it's a whole 4-lane highway, and
Yeah.
it's developmental. But I like the little restaurants that no one knows about. There's one called Manago Hotel that's the oldest restaurant in the United States, I think. Over 100-something years old, and
Yeah, old school Japanese.
very old school.
Yeah.
You sit down and you order your entree, and then they serve your sides. Like, it is what it is for the day.
Are they
You
known
get
for
a
their
bowl
pork
of
chop
rice
there?
and pork chops,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, those are the things that I enjoy.
Why have you never told me about this place, T?
Because you wanted to keep it secret.
Next time you go, you gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, up in Captain Cook.
I think what's fun is the abalone farm too. They have a little
That is cool,
food
yeah.
truck,
Yeah.
so you can get your little cut up abalone. But they just sold, I think, so they were closed
Oh, yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, because Mark Schneider from Trident used to run that.
Yeah.
And then
He
they sold
it.
to a Japanese company.
Yeah, and it just recently
Just
sold
resold
again because the last time I was there, it was closed. My son loves abalone, so we always
man,
go
so
there every
good.
time.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Waimea Lamb Company. They have a little pop up now. They do lamb burgers like Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
pretty fun.
Yep.
We didn't get there this time, but I'm going to next time.
Nice.
What if any part of your culture show up on the menu out there at the Barking Frog?
Yeah, it does.
Are the things you bring with you every time you move around?
I do.
Like for me, it was crab cakes. Everywhere I went, I brought crab cakes because they weren't available out here when I moved here in
Wow.
'77. Yeah,
Interesting. Known for Dungeness crab out here, and
I know there were no crab
It's
cakes.
crazy. But yeah, I don't have a specific dish that I bring with me, but I just bring the flavors of my Hawaiian and my Japanese background. We have onsen ravioli now, which is it's a sous vide egg, but we put it in an open-faced ravioli, so it kind of mimics the ravioli with the soft egg in it, but just our take on that. And we have a foie gras with compressed pineapple and macadamia nuts.
wow.
So yeah, I like to bring some of those fun and exciting things that's a little bit different than
Yeah.
what you see in the normal areas, but then also, of course, take the Pacific Northwest and and inject some of those background.
Are there local purveyors and winemakers, and farmers that you're excited to work with in Woodinville right now?
Yeah, for sure. There is a couple. We work with Equilibrium Farms really close. He stops by twice a week, and we chit chat and we see what's in the ground. and what's coming up, because I think that's what dictates our menu is what's coming up in the next couple seasons. And we fortunately have a menu change today, so we'll be jetting out of here after this and
Yeah.
playing
get
around
busy.
with some but it's a fun time, when you do a menu change, you get all these new products, you play with them, and then now they come to life, right? So
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. This is the time when all the chefs are like, okay, we have to flip the script.
yeah.
The last of the green beans are done. All the things
100%.
that we strive for. Corn's gone.
Yep.
Tomatoes finished.
Now we get to play with the beautiful pumpkins and the
Yeah.
squashes.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
but I love this time of year.
What are you excited for on this new menu?
What am I excited for? We did a big tasting yesterday, and sometimes you play around with the dish, and it's like, it doesn't come together, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, it comes out, right? But we have a Mexican-inspired dish actually right now on the menu that's really, like, I'm really enjoying right now. It's like a al pastor marinated sturgeon. So I think
Oh.
some people, it's sturgeon, and they think like, ooh, what's sturgeon, right? And I like educating too, right? So bringing in things like sturgeon, where it's a little more earthy, muddy flavored, right? Because it's a bottom fish, but we marinated it, and it's all that flavors go away, and then we pair it with a very spicy aguachile, so very Mexican inspired with some with a tamale. And that one's really,
Cool.
I'm
I
really
am
loving
so
that one.
into aguachile right now, and I feel like it's always been too spicy for me, and sometimes can overwhelm a dish.
For sure.
But maybe I like spicier foods than I used to. I'm not sure what it is, but God, I've been so into the one down at Half Shell, and we have. Where did we have the
We
other
had him
one?
on the show. We did a segment on aqua
Oh, that's
chili,
right.
so I
That's-
learned
was
all
gonna
about
say,
it.
Where did we get all that?
Yeah.
You have one of the big questions coming up here in a month will be, where should I have Thanksgiving dinner? Because not all restaurants are open for Thanksgiving dinner. I think our restaurant Lola is this year. Is that right? We're going to be open, but it looks like you're going to have a special menu from 12 to 9 on November the 27th for Thanksgiving. When can people make a reservation?
You can now, and I'd suggest going on now. We got an update yesterday, I think, and we're filling up pretty fast in the Barking Frog. But yeah, 12 to 9, we offer a 3-course prefix menu. Of course, very traditional Thanksgiving turkey on the menu and some other playful Barking Frog elements. But also across the street in our banquet area in Sammamish 1, we're doing a buffet. So you have 2 seatings of buffet, one at 1 o'clock and one at 4 p.m. And it's a huge buffet with all the layouts of all the very traditional Thanksgiving.
And that's right
fare.
above the gardens, right?
It's right inside of the gardens. So you open the door and you can peek out right into the gardens. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful room.
That's funny because ours opens up. You open the door, you look at 4th Avenue traffic.
Little different.
A little different.
We're lucky if it's only
We close the
traffic.
doors on purpose. Well, thank you so much, Kyle Kaku, executive chef of Barking Frog at Willows Lodge over in Woodinville.
Let's redo that. Lyle.
I keep doing that because of the K.
It's okay.
Happens often.
Again, we've been chatting with Lyle Kaku, executive chef of the Barking Frog at Willows Lodge, celebrating their 25th year in Woodinville.
25th, yeah.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
I won't see you at Thanksgiving, but I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Up next, what makes a great stuffed pasta? On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's your breakfast?
Oh, you can get rid of those if they're in the way.
Nice to meet you. Hungry this morning.
Good.
All right, we're back here at the Hot Stove Society, sitting around chatting food, which we do every week, 2 hours a week. You can find it on Cairo, for terrestrial radio, as we say. What are our typical times on Cairo?
Saturdays and Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. and Sunday mornings from 7 to 9. Although sports might.
Sometimes we get preempted for
Preempt.
sports.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's
But
preempted.
you can always get us on podcast or wherever you
Exactly.
get your podcast. We're there. And YouTube. Watch us live. We're say inappropriate things during the break.
Exactly. We're doing better.
Chef Tanaka,
Yes.
we've worked together for a long time, and one of our favorite things, I think, we've been working on a new menu at Neb. We talk about lots of different. This is the time of year for lots of different menu changes, but stuffed pasta is one of our customers' favorite things
Yeah.
because they know the value in it.
Yeah.
Kind of like they know when they get a steak, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, or a nice piece of salmon. Stuffed pasta compared to, say, spaghetti feels like a different value equation.
Yeah. There's
And
more
it is.
effort.
It really is. It takes a lot of time. What you've worked at Giorgio Felicini's restaurant in Barolo, I believe,
Monforte.
Monforte. What makes a great stuffed pasta, and then what? I guess I want to ask, how do you keep it all together? Because I know what I do, so I'm curious if we have different things that we do to keep it from all breaking apart and getting watery and soaking through the pasta sheets, all that stuff.
I think the simplest thing, and what we used to have a separate dough for ravioli versus noodles. And the ravioli dough was enriched further with more egg yolks. So it was a softer dough. And I think you'll see a lot of times like people are egg washing or putting water around the edges. Our dough was soft enough that we didn't need to do that. It would just compress onto itself. But because it's wetter, it's a little bit trickier. You have to work with it faster, or else it gets stuck on the board. And you don't want to really introduce a lot of flour to it because it gums it up. So it's really, I think, getting the texture of your pasta correct is the single most important thing. Because if it's too dry, I think that's what's happening. If it's too dry, it'll unseal,
Unseal.
or crack.
Yeah. Because a lot of times they're frozen after you make them, right?
Yeah. And I think, partly that second piece is if you're working too slow, the pasta dries out as well. So, I mean, during the winter or during the summer, that just the ambient moisture in the air, it also changes. Like, it's kind of a temperamental thing. And I think store-bought ravioli, you don't really get that because that dough, it's like, lead, it's bulletproof. Like,
Right.
nothing's going to tear that apart. But I think working with finer doughs, it's something that's really kind of ephemeral, and you have to really, the skill level comes out because I think making them faster is better because you keep the pasta conditioned.
And store-bought ravioli like that, fresh ravioli, is all machine made.
Yeah.
And so you're getting a really hard seal by machine around every edge, and so
Totally.
you're more likely.
Super crimped and
Yeah.
and just really, it's
Whereas
like-
when you're just trying to do it with a fork or even with a pasta knife, those little ruffled pasta circles, it's harder to get a great seal.
Yeah, and that's why I think just the condition of the dough, like if it's soft, when you roll your maker through it, should just crimp automatically. If you're having to really push down on it, then it's probably too dry.
You're kind of barking up the wrong tree.
Is there
Yeah.
a way to save it at that point? Can you just add a little bit of water?
Throw
or is
it away
too
and
late?
start
You really-
over.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. If you start working, once you're at that stage, you can't work more moisture into
Okay.
it without overworking the dough. So it's one of those things I think you have to really just be conscious and kind of really be able to touch the dough and make sure that it's, the place that you want it at.
So
at
we
that
might
time.
disagree a little bit there. I think you can use a fine spray mist.
Oh.
And kind of, if you're on that edge and you want to get back, I think you can do that. The other thing I always do, because I'm slow, is that moist towel over the pasta itself, just to keep it hydrated. It can't be wet, or then you end up with sticky dough. And
Yeah, it's
hard to
a
work.
really fine line between too wet and too dry.
All right, let's talk about fillings then, because I think sometimes when you're making ravioli or any sort of stuffed pasta, the filling can be too wet. It soaks right through the pasta dough.
Yeah, and I think also if it's too wet, then it's probably not concentrated enough flavor-wise. Because to me, I think it's also important to over-season your filling in a way, or over-concentrate the flavor. Because as it cooks out, you're introducing water to it, so it kind of just gets less impactful flavor-wise. So
Yeah, you got to think like you're seasoning that whole square of pasta,
Yeah.
not just the center where the filling is.
Yeah.
yeah.
So to me, like if you have a squash filling, and like you say, if it's too wet, it will just soak through that, and then it will burst the package.
Well, let's start with that. Let's start with a vegetarian squash filling. We have time, right? Yeah. So we've roasted our butternut squash dry, not with water. We've roasted it in the oven dry, got maybe a little caramelization on it. Now we scooped it into a bowl. We let it get to room temperature. What are we doing?
I would actually take it down in a pot further.
What do you
And
mean
then,
by that?
I would just slow cook it in a pot so that
Oh,
it
really?
really takes out more moisture.
Uh-huh.
Because your point is, it's true. Like too much moisture is bad.
Yeah.
So just cooking, I cook mine out a little bit just to take out a little bit more of the moisture and also concentrate, the squash flavor. And then I'll add my seasonings, hard spice into there, cardamom, allspice, whatever
Nutmeg,
is there.
Whatever that.
Herbs, yeah.
What about your herbs? Would you put sage in there or something?
I would do sage on the outside, but so like a sage butter.
Yeah.
But so I'd say hard spice inside and then herb on the outside.
Okay. So it's still not dry enough, so you can't just cook it to get to a spot. So now you got to
I
add
don't think
breadcrumbs.
so. Most people don't do that, so
Well, to me, I add Parmesan, like a Reggiano, which is a dry cheese, or a Pecorino, which is a dry
Yeah.
grated cheese. Will soak up some of the moisture and melt when you cook it. I also add a breadcrumb, a fine breadcrumb.
I don't like breadcrumb in the filling, but I do like the cheese. And to me, bread just kind of a filler. So that's why I don't add that. But
Yeah, to me, it's not a filler. It's more of, especially if you toast it, it's more of a soak up and keep your filling a little bit more stiff.
yeah, no, and I think once again, I think what I'll do is cook it out versus adding the breadcrumb.
Yeah.
So I think two different ways to the same.
Okay, so
place.
now we've got our filling. We're gonna pipe. We're gonna make a 2-inch square ravioli, which is a pretty darn big ravioli.
Yeah.
Or you could make it agnolotte, it's hard to talk about those on the radio. I think people understand or
Yeah.
can visualize ravioli better.
Yeah.
So just not even more than a tablespoon inside that 2-inch square. Mm-hmm. Now, when you put your layer on top, air bubbles are a problem.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you're just crimping by hand, so you're just literally.
You're literally pushing
Every
out
crimp,
the air
yeah.
before you crimp, right?
Yeah. And you crimp one side and work to the next, so it's pushing the air one way. Yeah.
Huh. All right, so now we're crimped. How long can we let those sit in the fridge before they start to soak through?
I think if you've dried your filling out a long time, if it's soaking through, then I would probably
Throw it
dry
away.
out my filling better. To me, it shouldn't do that.
Oh, in 24 hours, you don't think it's going to soak through?
No.
So you can do this and make a head dinner party.
Yeah.
I like it.
And also, I think if you're storing them in, semolina, that's going to take off some of that too.
Yeah, storing, that's something most people don't have. It's a big bucket of semolina to store.
Yeah.
Okay, we only have 2 minutes. So we got a pot of simmering water, salted.
I thought you didn't like salt.
I don't mind salt. What I don't like is seawater,
Ah.
like Chef Bridget does.
Yeah, I thought
Brackish.
that was your continual fight with Bridget.
Yeah,
How much
exactly.
salt in there? I thought
like
you
the
were
Pacific
0 and she
Ocean.
was over.
No, I do like to be able to control the salt after I boiled my pasta. Simmered, cooked. How do you tell when they're done? You always have to sacrifice a ravioli and try it, or
No, I think it should come to a float.
but they float so fast that it can't be done.
I was taught up to a float and then 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, and I think, especially with a wetter dough, you don't want to cook that too much. And it should really be with a fresh dough really fast.
All right, now we've got a pan of butter on the stove. We're going to brown the butter a little bit.
Yeah, brown the butter, throw in
Add
some
sage
sage,
leaves.
and you're just trying to infuse that butter with that sage.
And then out of the pot of boiling water or the simmering water comes the ravioli. Into that butter, toss it up, serve it.
I would cook it down a little bit with just a touch of the pasta water, just to kind of not emulsify it, but just kind of make the sauce stick to the pasta.
Uh-huh.
And that's like 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay. Then onto a plate, and then a resembling cheese. Like if I used pecorino in my filling, I might want to finish with pecorino.
Yeah. Or I think in Italy, it's always going to be
It's
Parmesan.
always going to be Parmesan. yeah.
And then a little bit of olive oil, I think, always.
Even with all that butter, you still add olive oil.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. That's sexy. Okay, thank you for celebrating ravioli with us.
My pleasure.
Up next, it's the Port of Seattle Commissioner Fred Fellman celebrating National Seafood Month, as we do all month long here on the Hot Stove Society show. See you soon.
Woohoo!
And some sage. We have lots of sage. You do? I have so much sage. We got 2 bushes. Well, it doesn't, it's the one herb that stays.
So you're over here?
Right next to you, get yourself really close to the mic.
Way to get in there. Good, Ken. Way to give them the rules. All right.
Oh, that's great.
Deal.
Yeah. Can you get by here?
How's it going?
Oh my goodness. And then
E.T.
No, last March I had it.
yeah.
I hope so. I can't believe there's any more
Absolutely.
more spacers, you know. So wherever. I'm happy I'm going along.
Yes, you're getting on. You look great.
All right.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate that.
Pleased to meet you.
And I have talked about going over there. Just an awesome vacation.
Yeah, it's beautiful. People are nice.
Tom,
Hope you guess
Turkey.
my name.
I'd love to go.
Closest I've
All right.
gotten is Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And Greece.
I love it.
You've never been to Greece?
I got the grease.
Never been to Greece. All right, we're ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule. Nice.
First week you were gone, we were 10 minutes late.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You sounded good, though. I listened. It was good. So, Fred,
Who's my audience?
who's your audience?
Yeah.
We are your audience.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to know who's behind me.
They just bought tickets to come to the show.
Oh, great.
And some people are guests also.
Talk to these guys.
You want to talk to the mic.
Got it. Got it.
And you have to be really close, closer than you think
Hey.
is right.
And then Ken did some questions, too, just if.
So what we got, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
All right.
Actually, 12 minutes.
12. I'm rich.
Have you been to the show before?
We did one over at a Fisherman's Festival over at the convention at the.
I think it works better here.
Oh yeah, that was like a mess, but it was fun.
Here we go, hour number 2 of the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. Everyone's having a good time. Just finished their breakfast. A delicious little ham and cheese and Swiss chard crepe with mushroom gravy. We are now joined by Fred Fellman. We're celebrating National Seafood Month, and Fred's over at the Port of Seattle, over at Fisherman's Terminal, which I get to all the time because I go to the Bay Cafe, and that's where I hang out with my grandson.
Where we have our meetings.
That's where we have our ownership meetings, and I hang out with my grandsons there and granddaughter. also Terminal 91, home to the North Pacific Fishing Fleet. And you guys catch a lot of fish. I mean, 13% of the national total, right, coming through that port. It's amazing.
Well, as a clarification, we catch no fish.
I
but
know.
we provide the infrastructure to allow our fishing industry to thrive. And yeah, it's the North Pacific Fleet that calls home at Fisherman's Terminal. Our first asset when we opened up the doors in 1911, first thing we built was Fisherman's Terminal, right associated when the locks came in.
Yeah.
So that we had fresh
And the
water.
Wharf Restaurant.
Right. So yeah, but I've been a commissioner for 3 terms, so I'm here on my year 10, and I got to just start off saying how much we appreciate the work that you do. I know Dahlia got opened in '89, which
Yeah.
is when the Exxon Valdez happened, and that sort of changed my life. I went up to Cordova. I saw the fishermen impacted by that, and it's sort of my mission, and since that time, is to make sure it doesn't happen here. So thank you.
Yeah,
for
or
you-
anywhere. Yeah, exactly. So,
And what you've done for Copper River, we're ever indebted.
yeah, we're very big fans. So tell us about Fisherman's Terminal in the Port of Seattle. You've supported Seafood 101 forever. And I just think it's amazing how diversified you guys are in your field over there. Now you have some pleasure craft over there, which, as I can see through the windows of the bay, tell us about how the port works and how that new, is it a net shed that you're building? That's the big new building out there?
Well, that's the Maritime Innovation Center, and it's actually a transformation of the oldest building we have was the old Fisheries Supply Building, and now it's going to be this living building challenge building. It's completely over the first 12 months of its life, no net energy consumption or water usage.
Really?
That has to prove its merit. The Bullitt Foundation was the first to use this design, and Miller Hull were the folks that put it together.
Yeah.
And it should open up in the fall of next year. And
So it's where a
pretty-
net shed used to be. I just assumed
Yeah.
that it was a remodeled.
Well,
net
the
shed.
the net sheds are separate. This was
Okay.
the supply building, and actually the net sheds. First thing I did when I got here was to put solar cells on net shed 4, and so we're definitely into sustainability.
Yeah.
And we're rebuilding a lot of Fisherman's Terminal. We've got $100 million going into it because we're really committed to supporting the fishing industry.
Yeah. It seems like record harvest coming out of Bristol Bay again this year, which has been super nice to see. A well-managed fishery.
Now, I think
Do you guys
sockeyes
get
were-
involved in that at all, the management of the fishery, or more
No.
just hosting the boats?
No, but we do celebrate record runs, and I think sockeye is where it's at. And there's nothing better than a nice oily sockeye, and you just have to be careful not to overcook them because they're a lot
They're
thinner.
lean. Yeah, oily but lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you teach consumers the difference between king and sockeye? Because I think, we get a lot of tourists down to Mr. Fish, and sometimes they're not fully understanding
Sometimes.
those differences. Because, I think,
Well-
especially I think most people have had mostly farm salmon. You move over to sockeye, and it's kind of a different experience.
Well, we call them reds for a reason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that color is the best distinction, and certainly
Yeah.
the size distinction with compared to a Chinook is a big difference. Actually, I did my graduate work in fisheries.
Oh, did
So
ya?
when I was a killer whale biologist, no less, and so now I'm a
Oh, wow.
recovering marine mammal scientist. And but we studied killer whales because they ate salmon. So it was the fisheries department of the School of Fisheries was interested because we had a predator on the loose, but we had the biggest brain marine life as well. So I was that's what drew me here actually. But they definitely, if you want to talk about a fisherman, you go talk to a killer whale. Yeah. And, but the other thing is our Baker Skagit River system this year also had 98,000 fish came up there. So this was a great
Yeah, the
sockeye
Elwha
year.
is coming back to life.
Yeah, and then there was also a crazy pink run. It was a bumper pink run, but they're best for canning.
Yeah, we actually have smoked some.
Yeah, that's probably and I've had some really fresh ones when they're right off the boat. Then they're good, but
They're
they
waiting.
age quick.
So we've talked to a lot of Seafood 101 fishermen or guests and their commitment to sustainability, a core value of the port. Can you tell us about Quiet Sound and other, because that has to do with killer whales and other initiatives around sustainability?
Well, the the goals of reducing our carbon emissions is one of the most important things. Like when I first came here, it was on the heels of the Shell oil rig coming in, and the question was like, how much, what kind of energy should we be supporting or using? And so I said, well, look, we need to look at our own footprint, and that's why we started off with the solar cell program. The headquarters on 69 is solar. The bathrooms over at Shilshole now are solar, and even at the airport now we're putting in solar. So that's a big part of, we deal with some of the heaviest industry, some of the hardest to decarbonize, ships, planes, trucks. You got to go alternative fuel before you can put batteries and huge things like that. But then moving into the marine environment, we're also looking at habitat restoration. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on, Duwamish River cleanup, but we're also habitat restoring. So it's not just, cleaning up the sediments. So we're making opportunities for fish to fish, and that's kind of critical part of it. And then because we're also a great source of the shipping traffic in the area, we actually jointly manage all the container cargo with the Port of Tacoma. I am also a managing member of the Northwest Seaport Alliance, which is that collaboration. So with all the ship traffic that we generate, we find that modeling it after the Port of Vancouver's ECHO program, if we slow a ship down by 1 knot, a nautical mile an hour, which is a little longer than a mile per hour on land, you can reduce the noise by a decibel. So 3 knots actually can have the noise of a ship so that the whales can hear, which they use echolocation. So the few salmon that are currently available on most years are easier to detect. So, and they can also have longer range to communicate with each other because they're social predators. So slowing the ships down without, increasing the pilotage rates or commercially, undermining our interest as a global trade entity is another way we are looking at community and commerce to coexist.
Right. And of course, that includes the Washington State ferry system, which is on a schedule.
Yeah, well, that's actually the challenge. Fortunately, we don't run the ferries, although it's often thought to be the case. We do run the airport, which a lot of people don't know. And you couldn't find a Port of Seattle sign at Fisherman's Terminal, but that's one of my most pride assets. We are one of the most diverse ports in the country, having an airport, a seaport, cruise terminal,
Right.
fishing terminal, real estate operations, and this collaboration with the Port of Tacoma. So that keeps us half-time commissioners pretty busy.
Well, I think it's super important for us who's listening to recognize that we own the port. The people of the state own the port, and we elect the commissioners. And I think sometimes in an election year that gets glossed over. We don't do our homework to kind of decide who should be our commissioners. And so get out there, get informed, and understand what it is that we do, what we own, and who should run it.
Yeah, it's actually, we're kind of unusual in the state of Washington that we do elect our commissioners. For the Port of Seattle, it's all of King County voters can do it, and we're not districted. So it's a pretty huge area. But you're right, most people don't pay attention. And even the newspapers, we pass a budget just like the city and the county. And, it's a couple $2 billion. It's not nothing, and it is the public's interest. But they don't even report on our budget, even though we're doing some really interesting things. And each election, it's like, what was the last thing embarrassing things that happened, rather than what was the last
Or all the
good
good
thing.
things.
That's what makes news,
Right.
And so, but we did just publish an op-ed with our executive director, me and Steve Metrick, that talked about the history of the port and the waterfront. And with the transformation that's occurring right now on the waterfront, I wanted to make sure that people knew that, we're not just a neighbor, but we're like a founding partner here.
Right.
And in fact, it was founded to regain the public's access to the waterfront, which was being commercialized by the railroads. So we've always started off, in fact, it was by public initiative that the Port of Seattle was created, just to bring us back. And now we have to make sure that, the public's access to the waterfront doesn't impede the operations of the commercial operations. But that balance is what we're all about.
Yeah, that's huge. And of course, I don't think our public officials, everyone wants to harangue our public officials, but that's the reason we have that incredible flyover in the new Steinbrook Park and aquarium and the whole new seawall at the waterfront. So, we have to give them credit where credit's due, too.
Yeah, we invested $5 million into that effort. And, back in the day when Paul Schell was the commissioner, all of that work of the remodeling of the of the waterfront to the north, whether it be the hotel or the Pier 66 with the Bell Harbor Marina, and even our headquarters was a transformation of a fishing
Yeah.
pier,
Yeah.
that cargo pier. So I'm glad that the rest of the city's caught up with us, but we're still committed to investing. with
Trendsetter.
that.
Let's wrap this up with just a quick fact or two on
Oh,
how
yeah.
much the fishing industry revenue and jobs that brings to our fair state. We have about a minute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's really the point. Why do we don't just support the fishing industry because we like fish? This is a huge part of our economy in our region, and so direct jobs. We have over 5,000 people who are actually in the industry. If you look at some of the spin-offs, it's over 8,000, 9,000 jobs, but the salary is about $500 million bucks, but the broader economic activity, right? I live in Ballard, right? So the guys that outfit the boats are all part of the fleet. Well, that's like $1 billion bucks, and so the fishing industry punches way above its weight. And you drive over the Ballard Bridge, you see a bunch of boats there sometimes, and then they're gone. Well, they're out there, making a living for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's really an exciting industry to be part of and supporting. And as long as there's fish to fish, and we also take that
And
responsibility.
it's managed well,
Yeah, and you've been a great help to that end. So I thank you for elevating the importance of that.
All right, we've been chatting with Fred Fellman. He's the Port of Seattle Commissioner, celebrating National Seafood Month. Thank you for being part of our journey on this this month every year. And Ken, thank you for shepherding all of that. And let's move on to Dick Stevens, I believe we're going to talk to
James
next.
Beard
Thank you so
Foundation.
much.
James Beard. James Beard Foundation. Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Thanks. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Ken.
That was really a good interview.
Did you get my crab cake video or my crab foo young video last week?
I did not.
We filmed it. Loretta's got it. Will you check with Loretta to see, make sure that Ken gets the video that we filmed last week, the 2 different recipes that we made? I think we made pollock and king crab foo young. All right. I know Kalakala. Let that thing die. Hasn't it been scrapped yet? Okay.
I know this would make a great restaurant, actually.
Yeah, you invest first, then I'll join after.
Hello.
Yeah, you
Wow, throwing shit around. Just boom.
Locked out.
Aw.
What's up, Dick?
We're ready to go.
So far, so good out there. Can you hear me now? Better? Yeah. When Bridget's not back there making a bunch of noise, it helps too.
Okay. Sounds good.
I know, it had Terry on it.
Look at him.
Sounds good.
Nice job.
That was a fun one.
You got it. Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love when the guests dress up for Christmas.
I think it was like Christmas week or something. Yeah. Okay, that's cute. I was just looking, coming on the 23rd about kids. Yeah.
So, Dix, it sold out, or is there still tickets?
10 left.
Okay.
You said that last year. You're lying.
You know, we sold it out a week ago, and then some national sponsor tickets were released back in.
Uh-huh.
So now there are 10 to go.
Okay.
Yeah. You're just lucky. I always hit 10 when I hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah. It's not 100.
Here we are back in the kitchens at the Hot Stove Society show. Thank you for joining us today. Wrapping up your gardens out there before the last frost or
Last of the
first
gardens.
frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, get everything picked. Even your apples and stuff don't hold up very good after they've been frosted, so get them picked beforehand.
Okay.
Dick Stevens is here. He's with the James Beard Foundation Taste America Culinary Series event that's happening in Seattle on Sunday, October the 26th at 5:30 at the Four Seasons Hotel. Did I get all that right?
You're perfect.
And you've brought some Trevari, so my guess is they are a sponsor.
They are. They have been really supportive. We love that they do such a great product here in Washington State.
It's a
and,
sparkling wine from the Yakima Valley.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought a pink one and a clear one for you guys to enjoy.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Yeah, you celebrate Terry a little bit too.
Yeah,
I always
exactly.
think about him.
Yeah,
A lot.
you should.
There he is.
We've been collecting his books online. Becky's been doing a good job of buying them every time she sees one pop up. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Then I have a stash I can give away when I want.
Nice.
It's nice.
Well, he lives in our heart for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. So tell us about this year's event.
Boy, this is the 10th one. So Taste America's on its 11th year. Seattle's been in the mix for 10 of those 11 years. I bring this up. Both Chef Eric has been an all-star. Tom has been an all-star. What's exciting about this is the model for Taste America's two models in different cities. So there's a walk-around grand tasting like the one we're going to do here at the Four Seasons on the Sunday the 26th. And then they also have dinners, kind of like a pop-up format in other markets. And this event we're doing here is really kind of help setting the tone across the country. It's so big. It's over 40 stations. And it's just exciting to see Seattle in that light.
You know, those like Taste of the Nation back in the day, we used to have these grand tastings, and it was really fun as a chef to hang out with other chefs. It's rare, especially since the pandemic. Those kind of events went away, and they haven't really come back. So I was really excited to see this format because you have a really great list of restaurants and chefs there.
It is a great list, and if we have a chance, I'll share some of those names. But I think the grand tasting thing is neat for us as the local producer, but I think great for the nation too, because we can put more people under the spotlight, not just the nominees and the chefs that are in the list and our Taste 20 chef, but also to see our sponsor chefs to get some great exposure. And I produced Taste America or Taste Washington in Seattle for 15 years, so we kind of tore a page out of that notebook and kind of weaved it into this Taste America format as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about the foundation and what this benefit?
Yes. This money does not go to the red carpet. That's when people see the James Beard Foundation, they think the awards, they see what they see on TV and on the internet. This goes to the programs. So this goes to a lot of chef boot camp work, sustainability, fairness in the workplace, full use of food, really exciting programming behind what's going on with females in the workplace as well, both as owners and leaders. And then James Beard's very active in a lot of legislation as well. They're active on Capitol Hill and trying to move the entire industry forward. So the money goes to benefit that. And Seattle is definitely one of the leaders in the fundraising category for the whole foundation.
And that foundation part is called Good Food for Good.
Good food for good. That's our slogan. It's been kind of more of a mantra for us. And it's been something that's really been adopted from the top down. And we all put our arms around it. And that's what this is all about. It's not about fancy. It's not about elite. It's about good food for good.
All right, let's get to the meat of the matter. Tell us some of the dishes people might experience if they...
Oh, boy. Well,
or do you have that info with you?
Let me rattle off some chefs, and that will help kind of connect those dots. Okay. This year, we have nearly 10 nominees. And to be in the James Beard list of star chefs, you don't have to be a James Beard winner or a nominee. The foundation does a really good job of recognizing chefs that are making a trajectory. But we have one chef every year. That's called our Taste 20 chef. That's part of James Beard Taste America, which is presented by Capital One. Elmer Dula from Family Friend is our Taste 20. So when we had our international kickoff in Los Angeles this summer, Elmer was who went and represented Seattle. And he's doing some amazing things. I saw just got listed as one of the best smash burgers in Seattle.
Yeah.
So we're excited that Elmer's a part of this. Logan Cox from Homer is on our list. Oscar Amador Ito from La Loba. This is an exciting one because he's new. Andrea Ferrandi is the new executive chef at the Four Seasons, and he's an international Four Seasons chef. He's from Italy. It's exciting to see what he'll be doing, collaborating with Ethan Stoll and with Daniel Grogan over there, but they're all on our list. Lupe Flores from Situ Tacos. We're super stoked about that, to show that part of the city.
I've seen their place in Ballard, but I've never gotten in yet.
There's a lot of buzz around that place.
Yeah, there is.
I like that we have stuff on our list that's leans to the street food as well, not just always what people are synonymous for with Seattle. Jose Garzon from Bad Chancla is there. We're stoked about that.
I don't know. ET, have you been to all the new
Yeah,
places?
no, he's been on this show actually.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah,
I heard him on here.
I forgot.
He did our Christmas party food 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I worked with his daughter with the foster kids treehouse program. So
Great person, great chef. We're proud to have him as part of our list of showing how diverse our community is here.
He's
And we-
doing a lot of fun stuff too.
He does. He's inventive. And I
Yeah.
think what will be great for people at this event, they can get up close and personal and talk to these chefs. A couple other chefs on the list are Karuna Long from Sofan, who's just done an amazing job. He also hosted a James Beard Greens event this last summer, which is a series that the foundation does to encourage young people to understand about what the foundation does. So we're stoked about Karuna. And then Melissa Miranda, who's always there. She's the baseline rock star for Seattle,
Yeah.
right? She's always
She's
representing.
a TD alum, correct, Melissa?
She worked at Quoco for us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Johnny Reyes is a part of this from Lennox. We talked about Ethan, and then Rachel Yang, who's a multiple nominee and always does a great job with what she represents from her voice, from her view of the world. I'm excited that she's a part of this as well.
God, I haven't been to one of her restaurants in probably a year, I don't think. When was the last time you went to Revel or Jewel? Maybe
been a
Jewel
while.
about a year ago. Love her cooking.
Yeah.
It's a great space, too, down there in Fremont. I love that her environment down there. It's really inviting and chilled out.
Yeah.
How do you go about finding or deciding who the chefs will be?
So the foundation, because we've done this for a long time now, we put together a list and sent it back to New York. They have a really great group of people that travel, that also vote, are a part of this. And the foundation tries to select a group of people that they feel represents the culinary fabric of the year to come. And the decisions that go in there are really their decisions from New York. We're excited about some names that we put forward. And then when I bring in the chefs from the sponsorships, we try to also show some cool diversity in some other categories. But there's no real rhyme or reason. I think they want to find people who represent the Pacific Northwest. And, we're up here in the corner of the country, right? When you take that picture of the United States at night and you just see the lights, there's 1,000 miles of darkness and then these little glimmering lights from Portland
It's called
and Vancouver.
Montana.
Yeah. They get us confused. And I always think it's great that when we get to do Taste America Seattle, that we get to show off the bounty of what we have here. The beef, the fish, the produce, the spirits, the wines, the grains, the berries. You don't get to do that all in other places. I just did a Friends of James Beard event in Kansas City, which was a big success. But they don't have that kind of bounty. They have their other heritage elements, but we have everything.
Yeah.
And I love that we get a chance to show that off.
I was thinking earlier when we had the Port of Seattle Fred
Yes.
on,
Yeah.
talking about what makes a Seattle chef cooking local food compared to, say, Todd English in New England or something. And to be a Seattle chef, you need to know, say, what salmon it is, which species it is, which river it came from, how it was caught, how it was bled, how fast it got. We take it very seriously, some things, and that's what I think that when you say about this corner of the country for James Beard, that's what we bring to the table.
I think so,
It's
too.
that kind of investment in management, fisheries management, the whole thing. So
And James Beard was a PNWer.
that's right.
Oh, that's a good point.
Literally, right? He's
Yeah,
from
literally.
Astoria, Oregon area, and
Yeah.
he caught wild game with his family and picked berries. That's what he was all about. So I think we're a kind of a shadowy reflection of of James.
All right, that's Dick Stevens. The event's October 26th at the Four Seasons Hotel. How do people get tickets?
Go to jbftasteamerica.org and surf to Seattle, or you can just go to the James Beard website and see what's going on, and then click on Taste America. We literally have 10 tickets of the 500 attendees left. You guys helped us sell it out last year. We hope you do it again, and we're grateful for everything that you guys do for us. You're always there. I always feel like the event kind of kicks off when I get to come in here and hang out with you, so thank you very much.
All right, talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon. Up next, we're going to talk about how to build a new menu on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Woohoo!
How much over did I go?
Love your enthusiasm. Thank you, Dick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where's Taylor? Maybe. All right, cool. Thanks.
Sean, can we get a wine glass to each person, please? Or Lars? Wow. Who did that? Here you go, Bex. After the show, we can teach you how to open a bottle.
I need practice. I've never done this.
One more coffee.
Have to spell some of these restaurants out for us. Talking about them, we're like, Jewel. J-O-U. She found it.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, oh, wait a second. Not Jewel like jewelry. Oh, you're so sweet. That's awesome. Take a picture. Yeah, I'll take a picture.
Giving you the link. If they had internships, and they do.
Here, I'll give it back to you. Thanks.
All right, while we're passing around a little sparkling wine from the Yakima Valley Treveri Cellars, we will get going on our next segment, which is Welcome Back to the Hot Stove Society. Eric Tanaka sitting in the guest chef chair today. He's my partner and longtime collaborator here at TD & Co. And Eric, as I've mentioned a few times, it's new menu time at all the restaurants as you transition
Yes.
seasons. You know, in the spring, the minute we see the first rhubarb, we start to think, and you're still a month away from spring even
Yeah.
breaking.
Fall,
Fall has already been started back 4 weeks ago almost,
Yeah.
and we're just getting to new fall menus because we try to hold on to the summer as long as we possibly can.
And the weather has been holding out for us.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we write a new menu for Neb, which is our little Italian joint right around the corner from here, what's your process of thinking about changing the season, and are there anchors to that menu? You know, because to me, an anchor would mean like squash or a little bit of a roast or stew, or what are our anchors to that menu?
I think, Neb, we have the wood-fired oven, so I always kind of center myself around that because that's the base to me of what we're trying to get to. And then just seasonally thinking, I love mushrooms, so to me it's kind of like mushroom season as well, like factoring in how do you highlight what's coming through there. We've had some really good mushroom seasons. There are some where you don't get them ever. But we've had some really great mushroom seasons. This is another one. So
Really good chanterelle season
yeah,
this year.
Yeah, chanterelles. I think porcinis are just starting to come through. So, just thinking about what feels good right now, and squashes. I love kabocha squash. It's a little bit denser and I think drier than like butternut or honey nuts are really moist and have that different texture. So.
Now that's typically I grew up seeing that in Japanese restaurants. You're part Japanese. Maybe you're all Japanese. I don't know. You're all Japanese. Is that a Japanese delicacy, or is it just the squash that grew in Japan?
I'm not sure that it's a delicacy, but it is the squash that grow in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's
because it's harder to. It's a little bit hard to deal with.
Yeah, because it's super dense. Like
Right.
it cooks differently than most squash.
Yeah.
So
So what do you do with it?
I first steam it, and then I treat it more, and then I'll marinate it. So I use Chinese black vinegar, a little bit of mirin, and chili spice. So it sucks it up. So it's really kind of like a vehicle for other flavors, but it has a strong squash flavor. So as a base of strong squash flavor, and then augmented with the things that you're marinating it in, to me is really great. Because to me, it's not really a roasting squash that as much as the other ones are. It doesn't caramelize in the same way to me. So I think steaming is really a good way to handle that.
Yeah, you often see it in tempura batter at Japanese
Yeah.
restaurants.
And sliced thin. Because it holds its shape well, and so it's dry, so it's not falling apart.
Are you using it in the wood oven? Or no?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
roast that off in there. But
Okay.
at home, I pretty much braise or steam.
Okay.
We've talked a little bit about stuffed pasta, and one of the dishes when I first moved to Seattle in '77, it was on every menu, was cannelloni, manicotti and cannelloni, kind of
Yeah.
rolled. And now
Old
we
school.
have,
Old school.
old school.
Yeah.
Now we have a cannelloni on the menu with squash over at Neb, and we're going to keep that, right?
Yeah, it's delicious.
And that's like a butternut squash mousse in the middle, or what?
It's got a little bit. It's fortified with a little bit of ricotta.
Okay, so
it
it feels light and airy.
Yeah, it is. It does have he whips that ricotta a lot.
And you just roll that in a crepe, or is he making a pasta roll?
No, it's pasta.
Okay.
Just a regular pasta dough.
I know it's the Boondocks years ago, in '77, we used to roll them in crepes and call them cannelonis.
I've never seen that.
Well,
Might be
they
coming back.
took a lot of things out of a box there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but I'm gonna try.
So then what's the next step to fall, to make our menu more fall, do you suppose?
I think also, we try and address what our customers are asking for. So getting feedback from our team. I think also we're starting to delve more into our private room. So how do we facilitate being able to put that out really efficiently, as well as really create the dynamic kind of flavors and textures that we want on a regular menu. Because sometimes business travelers are a little bit different than your main dining customers. It's a little bit more basic on your private dining side, because people are coming from all over. They aren't maybe as adventurous as when they're going out socially. So it's something where they're really focusing on their dinner.
Yeah, I think on the bottom line is that a PA is making the reservation for the person who's hosting the dinner party.
Yeah.
And let's say you have 20 people coming in from around the country. You have no idea what their tastes are like.
Right.
So you tend to kind of gravitate towards a baseline: steak, salmon, a steak, a fish, and maybe a vegetarian, to
Yeah.
make sure your bases are covered for people that, like my brother-in-law, every night of the week he has a McDonald's cheeseburger, like a quarter pounder, or a steak. Every night of the week. He will not eat a vegetable. And French
The
fries
high and low of it, though.
French fries or a baked potato. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's every night he's got to be 78, almost 80 years old. He's still alive. And that's what he does. But anyway, so you sometimes have you have folks like that where you have to kind of get to a baseline that people are comfortable coming to your place for supper.
Yeah. We don't serve quarter pounders, but we will do a steak. So, but it is. I mean, you have
You're
to
a
factor in some
cheeseburger
of the
man.
other
I've
things.
seen you serve a
No, I
quarter
love.
pounder.
I love
Just
a
not at
cheeseburger.
Ned, but yeah.
I'm putting a steak on the menu there called tagliata, and that's just a thinner type meat. So I'm going to use either a flank steak, a skirt steak, or a flat iron steak. Give it a hard sear or smoke it first, and then finish it and kind of rewarm it in the oven. And that's just sliced thin on a plate with extra virgin olive oil, some charred lemon, and maybe a little flat leaf parsley or some sort of green to put on top. That to me is what I think about a lot of restaurants that I've been to in Tuscany, more Tuscan style compared to say more Piemontese style of steak. That's from Tuscany south all the way through Sicily. You see food like that.
Yeah. Well, I think further north you go, it's probably going to be more braised.
Yeah.
And less a steak. Whereas you go south, it's more steak versus braised. And I think, it's interesting is Tom and I go back and forth on these things and sometimes agree, sometimes we don't. And his steak is just the meat on a plate. And I was in my mind transitioning to more of a traditional kind of entree with maybe a protein, a starch, and a sauce. So we're kind of in a different spot there. But and I think, as you look at what Tom's trying to get to and what we've been talking about just as a company is how do we find value for our customers? And some of that means just kind of stripping things away so you get to the base and you can price just the steak on a plate with beautiful olive oil, capers or lemon, whatever, a lot cheaper than when you are adding in, and it's not so much product, you're adding in labor as you add in garnishes that are made, as you add up other things that are put onto the plate, roasted, prepped, cooked. It's a lot of labor. So finding those pieces of value, because it's expensive in Seattle. I think, I go out and I know why it's expensive, but it still feels expensive.
Well,
so
we definitely know why it's expensive.
yeah. So, but we're trying to find those ways to make it feel like a value when you come into our place. And it's not just cost, but the quality of the experience. How great was your service? How great do people answer the phone? Like during the pandemic, nobody answered their phone. It was a crazy thing. But, just adding those things that are based hospitality. But, we've been doing that for a while and just thinking, what are all the pieces of value that go into you coming to the restaurant? So the menu is obviously a really big formidable part of that, but they're just all these other little pieces. How clean are the bathrooms? How is the menu paper torn up? It's just those little things that make you feel like, oh yeah, this was worth going out.
People get, we as a community voted for the higher minimum wage in the process that we're going through right now, and I have people. A lot of my, how do I want to say this? There's some people that always kind of question me, what do you think now kind of scenario. If you look at the restaurant business now compared to, say, before the minimum wage went up to 15 and then it's graduated with the CPI every year, restaurant people make an actual living. I mean, I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but we can actually make 20, 23, 24, depending on your experience, 25, up to $30 an hour, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And people think that upsets me. It doesn't at all. But the reality is it does show on the cost of the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I think it's finally hitting in a big way. I think people are trying to keep their prices as low as they could, as long as they could. But, when you start reconciling your P&L, you're like, well, there's one area we can make this
You either
happen.
go out of business or you raise your prices, and then the customer gets to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where market-wide you've seen that. In the beginning, there were some people that adjusted quickly, but now everybody has had to jump to that, and that's why it feels so expensive in Seattle.
Yeah. It's an interesting time, I'll say, in our business. But getting back to Neb and the fall change, boy, we could talk restaurants for the whole show. But I'm excited about this change of menu time. We're doing the same thing at the Palace Kitchen, certainly at the Carlisle Room. Where it's
and really all our joints where you have
it's
to
that
adjust.
time of year. Yeah, exactly.
Well, as a customer, it's fun to hear this conversation because I don't know all these details. So it's nice to hear how you think about a menu and how you be profitable.
Well, and not just about a menu, but who's our customer? I think
Yeah.
ET brought up who's our customer and what are they trying to. If you're bringing 25 people in the town for a meeting at the convention center, we have to satisfy all 25. I don't care if they're from Africa, from Australia, from Japan. You got to cover your basis. So,
Yeah, and we're downtown, so we have a very diverse population that way as
Yeah.
far as who we're trying to feed.
I smell something burning back there. What's going on? Is Sean cooking again? All right, up next, it's our Food for Thought Tasty Trivia Battle Royale, brought to you by Rub with Love Spice Rubs, and we'll be right back on
All
Cairo
right.
Radio 97.3 FM.
Can I call a friend? Oh, that's what I.
Well, if Lauren gets one, I get one. Todd, you're my second today. Come on, represent.
I think it smells good. You smell burn?
It's just the hot grill.
We have the machines.
The sake slushy.
Sake slushes at Tanaka-san. Our kids remember.
That's Eric Tanaka.
The kids remember it. Great.
I love that restaurant.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to beat you guys.
You think so?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting the easy questions.
Todd, are you coming up?
I'm gonna
We
phone-
know she's going to phone a friend, so I'm bringing my friend right in.
Oh, no. He can come over here, too.
No.
ET, do you need any help?
I'll be all right.
Okay.
Ooh, confidence. Ready, set?
Yes.
And you
Welcome
talk-
back to the Hot Stove Society show on Cairo Radio. It's Tom Douglas,
E.T.
E.T. Eric Tanaka, and to my right, stage left, is Todd. I don't even know your last name, Todd.
Todd
That-
Fox.
Todd Fox. We are going to take on
Lauren Minson from Sammamish.
from Sammamish. They're supposed to be super smart out there in Sammamish. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Of course, she has 3 people backing her up right behind her. So, hey, get off your phones. Get off your phones. Do you see that? Those Sammamish people cheat.
She was taking a photo.
Sure. The Tasty Trivia is brought to you by our Rub with Love Salmon Rub this week. It's the best-selling salmon rub in the country, the world, in the universe, and apparently even in this galaxy. We have other offerings to help bring more seafood to the dinner tables. Try our spicy Tokyo rub, our seafood rub, our peri-peri rub, our veggie rub, triple garlic sauce. You name it, we bring a lot to the table. Jackie used a whole jar of sauce on ribs last night and forgot them in the oven.
Oh, no.
And we had to release from service the cookie sheet she was baking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's now in the recycle bin. I don't even think they could burn that stuff off.
Oh.
All right, let's play, Becky.
All right, we've got 3
Did you have
contestants.
withdrawals while you were gone from the game?
I did miss it, but I wrote
Okay.
some questions.
Okay.
So some turkey-oriented questions. So we've got E.T. and we've got Lauren from Sammamish, and we've got Tom and Todd. So each one of you get 5 questions, and the winner will pick an audience member to take a stroll in the gift shop and pick up a spice blend of Rub with Love. So that's what's going to happen. And we're going to start with E.T.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm
Okay.
ready.
First one is multiple choice. Which country consumes the most tea per capita in the world? Is it India, Turkey, or the UK?
India.
It's Turkey. That was my little trick. Turkey tops the list with nearly 7 pounds consumed per person each year. Amazing. All right, true or false? Scallops use jet propulsion primarily to migrate long distances.
False.
That is false. They use it in short bursts to escape slow-moving predators like starfish as they hunt by creeping up and enveloping prey. Good job. Number 3, in 1814, what dark liquid surged through London streets, flattening buildings and tragically drowning 8 people? It was in a vat.
Oh, beer.
A 22-foot tall vat at Mieux and Company Brewery burst, unleashing over 3,000 100,000 gallons of fermenting porter beer. Bravo. Number 4, what ingredient makes a Caesar cocktail distinct from a Bloody Mary?
Caesar. Anchovy.
The portmanteau called,
Bloody Caesar, right? Is that what you mean? The tomato juice?
no, clamato juice.
Clamato.
Clamato juice. No, it's, what do you call a Bloody Mary that has no alcohol? A bloody shame. Yeah, all right.
Wow.
All right. Someone laughed. I appreciate that. It's the only joke I remember. Okay, final question, multiple choice. Which empires credited with developing the vertical rotisserie technique used in a
Ottoman.
doner kebab? What?
Ottoman.
Ottoman Empire it is. You didn't even need options. Good job, ET. You got 3 out of 5. Woohoo! Okay, Lauren, you ready?
Okay, yep.
You've heard this a few times?
Yep.
Okay.
I just want to know, are you as smart out of your bad Christmas sweater as you are in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It helps. Okay. First one's multiple choice. Which entrepreneur founded the Lipton tea brand in 1890 by purchasing tea plantations in Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, cutting out middlemen to offer affordable, quality tea for the masses? Was it Earl Grey, Sir Thomas Lipton, or Richard Twining?
Second one. B.
It's Sir Thomas Lipton.
Yep.
Easy. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, with no help from your audience. Okay, number 2. What herb is commonly used to garnish a mojito?
Mint.
That would be mint. All right.
She knew that answer way too fast.
Yeah,
How
she
many of
did.
those have you drunk?
Not too many
Not
of
too
those.
many.
Third one's multiple choice. In which city was the modern sandwich-style doner kebab popularized in the 1970s? Was it Istanbul, London, or West Berlin?
Istanbul.
It's actually West Berlin. Turkish immigrants in West Berlin adapted the doner into a portable sandwich format, sparking the rise of European street food staple. So, a little tricky. Number 4, what staple food caused mass hallucinations and madness in a French town in 1951? Would you like options?
Yes.
Okay. It's either bread, cheese, or milk.
Phone a friend. Cheese.
It's bread. Yep. In the small town of Pont Saint Esprit, bread was likely tainted with ergo fungus, triggering a bizarre outbreak of hallucinations and illnesses that affected over 250 people.
Wow.
I know, terrible. Final question is multiple choice. Which country is most commonly credited with invention of chicken tikka masala? Is it India, Pakistan, or the United Kingdom? Yeah.
I'm going with India.
You'd think so, but it's actually the UK. E.T., you knew that? Yeah. Trick question. All right.
Turns out
2 out of
those
5.
Sammamish people have issues.
Well, you're feeling pretty confident because you
No,
got
I'm
Todd.
not. I got
yes.
Todd.
All
Yeah.
right. So Todd and Tom.
All right.
Number 1 is multiple choice. What unusual ingredient was used in the early version of chicken tikka masala? Was it yogurt, canned tomato soup, or Worcestershire?
I'm going to go with Worcestershire.
Canned tomato soup.
Canned tomato
Yes.
soup.
We're done with chicken tikka. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 3. 2. What fiery spirit turned deadly when lightning struck at an Illinois distillery in 1963? 40,000 barrels ignited in the blaze that killed 6 people and caused extensive damage with this fiery.
Is it still called it today?
Yes, something you like too.
White lightning.
It's just whiskey. Oh, but the lightning would have been funny.
Well, that's where it came from.
No, because it was already made and then it blew up.
I know. White lightning.
Todd. Whiskey.
Todd agrees with me.
No, it was whiskey. All right. Third one is true or false. Some parrotfish species create a translucent mucus cocoon before sleeping to mask their scent from nocturnal predators. Is that true or false?
False.
It's true. It's quite the. You're not glad I'm back, are you?
Thanks, Todd.
All right. Let's see if we can get number 4. Lion's head refers to a classic Chinese dish featuring oversized what?
Meatballs.
Pork meatballs it is. Good job. I just made the version in the New York Times from last week that has, it's 1 pound of pork to half a pound of silken tofu. It's actually really good. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Okay, final question. Greek gyros, Middle Eastern shawarma, and Turkish doner kebabs all share a smoky, split-roasted cousin introduced to Mexico City by Lebanese immigrants in the early 1900s. What is that dish called?
Are you going to give us multiple choice, or what's the deal?
No, but E.T. might be able to help you.
E.T., help
Al
us.
Pastor.
That's what it is.
There you go.
All right, so E.T. is the winner with
Way to
3
go,
out of
E.T..
5.
You get to pick somebody from the audience, E.T. I would suggest the person who put their soul on the line
Yes.
from Sammamish.
Lauren's the winner.
Lauren's the winner.
If you want to be part of our show, you can join the community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us here in the studio at hotstovesociety.com. The show is produced by Becky Guzak, back from Turkey. Nico Caballero's been on tech side. Our talented editor at Cairo is Sean. Please tell me you did the music today, Del Torre. If you miss any episode of our show on Cairo, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe with your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, quiet on the set, please. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Chef Eric Tanaka.
Today on the Hot Stove Society radio show, Chef Lyle Kaku shares the Barking Frogs fall menu, marking 25 years in Woodinville wine country. We explore what makes a great stuffed pasta and celebrate Seafood Month with Port of Seattle Commissioner Fred Thelman.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Todd. Every time I looked over, Todd just looked away.